So today's top five, we are going to be talking about Utah family business made a flag featured at the Super Bowl. Two, homeless and alone. Will we ever solve the homeless problem in Utah? Three, 305-foot residential tower project wants to be built in. So developers want to build that project at Sugar House. We're going to go into that. Number four, Utah is named the best state in America for 2023. But what else should you know about Utah? We're going to get into that. And number five, Tucker Carlson, independent reporter now, was fired from Fox News, visits Vladimir Putin in the Kremlin. My take on that. So welcome to Utah Stories Top 5, where we scour all of the top headlines of the day, sift through all the spin, clutter, and crap, and present you the most important pressing headlines, saving you countless hours. This is your best first download of the day to get things rolling so you can stay informed, engaged, and aware of the most important issues impacting the quality of life in Utah, and especially your local communities. But before we get to our headlines, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to our channel. And today's episode is brought to you by Utah Stories Magazine. Did you know that just for $3 a month, just a quarter of your Netflix and chill subscription, you can subscribe to Utah Stories Magazine? That's right. You can dive into your local community, whether you live in Salt Lake City, Moab, or Ogden, or you want to learn all about Utah and experience Utah in a nice package. We can send it right to your door for just $3 a month. Why should you do this? Screens are taking over the world. They are taking us out of reality. Print gets you back into the real world, and it gets you back into your local community, especially this kind of print, the voice of local Utah, Utah Stories. Go out, buy it now. Take advantage of our special offer right now, $3 a month. Gets it right to your door. It is your connection to the real world. All right, let's dive into our first headline and story. A Utah family business made a flag featured at the Super Bowl. A family-owned business in Sandy, Utah made it to the international stage of the Super Bowl this Sunday. Jacob Swenson is Colonial Flag's chief operating officer. It was started over 40 years ago in my uncle's garage, Swenson told KSL. Big flags are their specialty. If it's a flag, we probably do it, Swenson said. The American flag unveiled at the field this year's Super Bowl was crafted at Colonial Flag last summer. We cut the stars by hand, Swenson said. We measure the stripes by hand, he said to KSL. Headline number 2, homeless and alone. Will we ever solve the homeless problem in Utah? Not if they don't change things. That's the short answer. But as we're aware in Utah, the homeless problem is ever growing in the Beehive State, especially when it comes to winter. The unsheltered population is forced to be outside in the freezing temperatures. We checked out a Utah Reddit thread this morning, and an anonymous local Utahn said, and I quote, "I've been sleeping in the cold for almost 3 years now, and I'm just trying to get back to California. All the shelters nearby have no beds available. My food stamp card was stolen on top of everything else. I haven't had a decent meal in days, and I'm losing hope rapidly," end quote. An anonymous user commented back saying, "I'm so sorry you're going through this, and all the negativity made my brain hurt." So Utah Stories has been covering the homeless problems in Salt Lake City since we very first started 18 years ago, but really diving into it the last 3 years. It is a big problem because the more money currently that we're spending on it, the more homeless people we're getting. So we're having a negative outcome. We're getting more homeless people with more money. And not enough people are asking, why is that? Why is that happening that way? So Utah Stories did a deep dive into that. We had a documentary film presentation. We showed that at Broovies in last October. We would like you to learn more about it. Visit our past prior homeless stories to learn more about it, or go out and volunteer and get to know some homeless people. I think one of the keys to solving this problem is just more people reaching out and actually helping homeless people. And the best way you could get involved, I think, right now is go volunteer at First United Presbyterian Church movie night It's supported by Unsheltered Utah. Wendy Garvin was on the program talking about that. They need volunteers. Go volunteer. Help serve some food, serve some homeless people. It's a great way to get out there and help people. All right, story number 3, a 300-foot tall residential project to be built in Sugar House. As reported last week in the top 5, 305-foot tower is being built in Sugar House, but will residents allow it? So Sugar House is a quaint neighborhood. It's sort of an exurb of Salt Lake City. We lived there for 15 years, and they want to pack in more and more and more density. And I get it. We got to put more people in with less space. They want to go up, so it makes sense to go up. But what I don't get is they want to go up so much higher than all the other buildings in the area. Why not build this big tower where there's more tall buildings? So Harbor Bay Ventures plans to develop the old Wells Fargo site at 1095 East, 2100 South. They want to make it 305 feet tall, which is about more than twice as tall as any other building in the area. It's only on 1.2 acre parcel, and current business owners say this is not okay. The current height caps height at 105 feet, and using the active ground floor level for retail. So Illinois-based Harbor Ventures teamed with private equity Bascom Group out of Irvine to make this project happen. So this is what's happening. Private venture capital is moving into all of these hotbed areas in Utah because they know they can big time cash in, especially if they can build up. So they basically do measures to get the city council to approve these plans. I don't know exactly what those measures are. I'd like to find out because how is it they're just approving and greenlighting these projects when they've never approved projects like this before? That would be a great investigation. But the public comment period happened. It's ongoing. You can go make your voice heard. That's never, unfortunately, worked to stop a project like this. But if enough people show up and make their voices heard, that's always better than nobody showing up. So go to the Salt Lake City Planning Commission where they have a meeting. Check out their schedule at the Salt Lake City Council webpage and get involved. That's all I can say. It's just we've been reporting on it for a long time, but more people have to get involved. So headline number 4, Utah is named the best state in America for 2023. Now, you may have long-held beliefs that Utah is the best, but now the Beehive State has proof. It's the new rankings of the U.S. News & World Report put Utah in the top spot for the best state in America, according to Fox News. What it used to determine which is the best state is crime, corrections, the economy, education, fiscal stability, healthcare, infrastructure, natural environment, and opportunity. What the travel, tourism, and state officials do not want you to know is that Utah ranked number 46 in its natural environment category. This is why you shouldn't move to Utah. This might seem surprising because all of the natural beauty here in Utah, but true local Utahns know the air pollution in Utah, in Salt Lake City, and the Wasatch Front specifically is absolutely terrible at times of the year when we have what are called red air days, which are essentially days when you are poisoning yourself just by going outside and breathing the air. The only thing I can recommend you do on red air days is go and buy some cigarettes, because then at least you're getting your polluted air through a filter. So that's my health recommendation. Number 5. Now, this is an international story making all the headlines. Everybody's chiming in on it. Why would I talk about it as well? Just because it's been in my thoughts, and I just barely finished listening to the interview Tucker Carlson did with Vladimir Putin at the Kremlin. I'm a fan of Tucker Carlson for one simple reason. He's willing to ask the questions that the mainstream media should be asking and reporting on, but they are not. Why won't they? Because in my opinion, the mainstream media is bought off by our giant corporations, just like our politicians are. Tucker was asking questions about Russia and Ukraine on Fox News. He was asking questions about the origins of the COVID vaccine, and he was fired from Fox News. They didn't say why he was fired, but he's the only reporter asking these types of questions. So we don't hear anything critical of the war in Ukraine and our billions and billions going over there instead of billions of dollars going to, say, the homeless population here in our own country or securing our border. That the money goes there. Could it? So why are we in yet another what appears to be endless foreign war, endless foreign entanglement? So Tucker asked those questions of Putin, and his responses were very interesting. And this leads me to my question of the day. One of the questions that was brought up in my mind when I was listening to Vladimir Putin answer Carlson's questions was Putin said that it was the CIA that helped facilitate the ousting of Viktor Yanukovych. Yanukovych was the pro-Russian Ukrainian leader who left Ukraine not longer after entering office and replaced by Viktor Yushchenko, who was pro-Western and basically a puppet of the United States, according to Putin. Was Putin accurate when he said the U.S. CIA assisted in ousting Viktor Yanukovych? And what appears to be a replacement, was this all facilitated by the CIA and the United States government? I'd love to know. Leave me more information as you know it in the comments below. I did some cursory research. I found an article on the New York Times where it said Yanukovych was destined to be ousted because he was not supported by the population there. According to Putin, he was supported. It was just the CIA undermining yet another foreign leader trying to oust that person that made it happen. I don't know what the truth is. It would probably take a lot of digging. But if any of you know the answer, again, leave me the comments below. All right, to our adventure of the day, snowshoeing in Mill Creek Canyon. It's been amazing at the top of Mill Creek. I've been taking my dogs there. It is so incredibly beautiful. And it's if you go to the very top of Mill Creek Canyon, there's a road that they close, and you can just get out. But I want to give you a bit of advice, especially those of you from California. You don't actually need snowshoes. I see people going up the canyon all the time on the hard-packed snow with snowshoes. You don't need snowshoes, guys. You don't need them. You can walk right up with your shoes. Snowshoes are when there's powdery snow and you risk like going down deep into the snow. So unless you're going to go off the trail somewhere, put your snowshoes in your backpack and walk up till you get there, because walking in snowshoes on a hard-packed trail makes you appear like you come from California. Just want to let you know that. So thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you like this content and you want to engage a greater degree with your local community, go out and subscribe to either Utah Stories print magazine, our February Fun Guide, or our free digital newsletter. Go visit utahstories.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter there for free, and we will send it every week to you, the voice of local Utah, and you can get updates about our special giveaways, our events coming up. We have so much on the plate coming up. Really going to be exciting for what's happening very soon. We have our beer issue coming out next month, and we're going to have a launch party at a really cool place I'm going to be announcing very soon. And so with that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.